Hello friends, hope you're good. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to draft, cut and sew the Kaaba. We are going to first draft using this paper, the flip chart, because some people have disturbances when I'm drafting on the material. So we are going to use the flip chart first, then after I'll show you when we are on the material. So this is my pattern. You have to fold the pattern into two parts. As you can see, I'm folding it because we have to draft the Kaaba when the material is folded. I'm done folding my paper, flip chart, pattern, anything you may call it. You need to be having your Kaaba measurements. The Kaaba of my client is 12. So let's get started. The length of the Kaaba will be 7 inches, as I've been telling you. Our Kaaba is 12 and the length of the Kaaba is 7 inches. I'm going to show you. So we are going to measure 7 plus 1 inches. 1 is the sewing allowance. So we have 8 inches. But if you know that when you're sewing, you hold bigger parts, you get the 7 plus 2 inches for allowance. We are still dealing with the length. We said 7 plus 1, so it's 8. So we are still marking 8. Then we make a line, as you can see. Please make sure your line is straight. Your line should be straight. Our Kaaba is 12. We are going to get 12 and we divide it by 2. If you divide 12 by 2, you're going to get 6. So you're going to measure 6 here up. As you can see, I'm measuring 6. Here down, again it's going to be the Kaaba measurements divided by 2 plus half an inch. Or you can say what you've got there up, which is 6, then you add half. So you measure down 6.5. As you can see, I'm measuring. Then we join the 6 to the 6.5. As you can see, I'm going to join. That line should be slanting. As you can see how mine looks like. We are going to the neckline. So here up on the neckline, we are going to give 2 inches. If the person's bust is 35 and above, you give here 2.5. Downwards is 4 inches. That's the standard. It should be 4. Whether big, whether small, it should be 4. So we make it's called a rectangle 4 by 2. As you can see, I'm making it. Then you join the parts. Now we are done with the draft for the Kaaba. This is the back Kaaba. Now we are going to cut on the material. I'm going to show you how to cut on the material. If I'm going to cut on the material, I enjoy cutting all the pieces all together. It's disturbing that you first cut at again, you cut another one at the other ones, yeah? So you cut all together. Yeah? So you're going to fold 2 times. You're folding twice. 2 times. The first one like this, and then I folded the other one. For the material, you should be having 2 pieces of each side of Kaaba, like 2 for the back, 2 for the front. Let's get started. Let's make our starting line. As you can see, I'm making my starting line. The length, we are going to give 9, which is 7 plus 2. 2 is for the sewing allowance. So I made 7 plus 2, which is 9. So after sewing, I should make sure that it is 7 or 7.5, since the other 2 is just allowance. So you square out and draw a straight line as I showed you on the draft paper. Let me hope that you pinned your material very well, because if you don't pin, your work will look disorganized. Then you draw the straight line. As you can see, I'm making my straight line. So our client's Kaaba is 13.5 inches. So here up, here. We are going to get the 13 inches and we divide by 2. As you can see, I'm using my tape measure to divide. I have 6.5. So you're going to measure the 6.5 from the folded part coming outwards. As you can see, I'm marking where the 6.5 are. So there down, as I told you on the draft, you're going to get the 6.5 what you've got here up, and you add half an inch. So which means we shall be measuring 7 inches. Or you can say the curve of the client divide by 2 plus a half. So yeah, we are measuring the 7 inches down here, as you can see. So then you mark where the 7 inches are, but please make sure that your work is pinned. Here up I got the Kaaba divide by 2, which was 13 divided by 2, and I got 6.5. Here down, the 6.5, I added half to get 7. So now we are going to join the 6.5 to the 7. The line should be slanting. As you can see, I'm joining. So after there, we are going to the neckline. The neckline, the width I'm giving her 2.25. It's 2.25. The length I'm giving 4, because I told you 4 is the standard measurement for the length of the neckline of the Kaaba. Again, I measure the 4 downwards because I want to form a rectangle which is 2.25 by 4. Then you join the marked pieces to make something like a box, something like a rectangle, something straight. As you can see, I'm joining to form the neckline. So this is the back Kaaba. We are first cutting out the back Kaaba. Now we are done with the back Kaaba, back yoke, because the Kaaba is called yoke in English. So now we are done with the back yoke. We are going to cut it out. Please take your time while cutting it out, because if you decide to rush, you might cut out something that is not nice. And you need to be having straight edges. Since we are dealing with a gomesi, it should be perfect. I'm done with cutting it out, and I'm going to show you how it looks like after being cut out. This is how it should look like. As you can see, there are 2 parts. So we need to put some piece of lining in that Kaaba because our gomesi is too soft and we want it to be a little bit firm. So we need to put the lining. We will use this polyester material, the polyester lining. But before cutting the lining of the Kaaba, you should first cut out the sleeves. Then the remaining pieces make the lining for the Kaaba. Now let's make the front yoke. So you're going to fold again twice, and then you get the back Kaaba. You place that back yoke on the folded parts. Then you trace out, because you're going to get the front yoke from the back yoke. As you can see, I'm placing the back yoke on the material that is folded twice. As I told you, we get the front yoke from the back yoke. I told you Kaaba in English is yoke. It's called the yoke. Please don't forget to pin. As you can see, I'm pinning my work. Please and please don't forget to pin your work. If you don't have pins, you can get a hand needle and you place in some running stitches, and you place in running stitches because we don't want the material to be moving. So you put in the running stitches. After cutting out, then you just pull them out. So after pinning or after putting your running stitches, then we are going to cut out. If you want, you can first trace. If you don't want to trace, you can just cut out. Since it's the same, it will first be the same. I'm done cutting out, I'm going to remove the back yoke that helped me to cut the front yoke. This was the back part that helped us to get the front part. These are the front pieces that we got from the back part. You're going to unfold them. As you can see me what I'm doing, I'm unfolding them. After unfolding, we are going to pin again, but before pinning, make sure that the neckline, since there are two parts, the neckline should be equal with the other part. As you can see, I'm pinning but making sure that the neckline, the two parts and the neckline are equal. As I told you, if you don't have pins, you can use a running stitch. After pinning or after getting the running stitch, put the running stitch, then you're going to get your tape measure. You're going to measure 8 inches from one part of the neckline, so from here. Hope you can see I have placed my tape measure from there up to where the 8 inches are. Then you mark where the 8 inches are. After marking where the 8 inches have ended, you extend your line. As you can see the way I'm doing it, I've measured 8 inches from one part of the neckline coming outside. From this neckline, let me hope you can see, from this neckline I measured the 8 inches. As you can see, where the 8 inches have ended, we are going to make a straight line going downwards. As you can see the way I'm making the line, draw the line up to downwards. As you can see the way I'm drawing it up to downwards, it should be straight. As you can see, I'm organizing my pins. Pins are a bit distant, but I'm organizing my pins. And I'm straightening the line as I told you. Now we are going to cut out this excess part. This one, I hope you're seeing it. Let me hope you can see how I'm cutting it out. Please just be more careful. If the line is straight, you should cut it out when it's straight. If you cut it in a zigzag way, that's how your yoke will be when you're done sewing it. So you should make sure that if the line is straight, it should be straight. If the line is slanting, it should be slanting. Now I'm done with one part of the front part of the yoke. This is where the buttonholes are placed. Now we are going to cut the other piece where the buttons are placed. For the piece for the buttons, we are going to cut a piece which is like this side. We are tracing out only this side minus the other extra part. Hope you can see what you're going to trace out. They should also be 2. So this time you can only fold once, since you only want to have 2 parts only. As you can see, again I've pinned, so now we are going to cut out. So you should cut out. Now I'm done cutting out. Let me first remove the part that helped us to cut out the pieces. Remember, one side was straight and one side was slanting. So you have to make a notch, or you have to mark where the slanting side is, so as to help you when you're sewing. As you can see, I'm making a notch, just a simple notch. Now let me show you how it will look like after sewing. Let me get the pieces. Our front part will look like this. Hope you can see it clearly. This is for the buttonholes and this is for the buttons. Now let's get ready to start sewing. I'm now on the sewing machine. We are going to start sewing the yoke. So the back yoke, you get the right side. This is the right side facing me. The right side should face the right side, as you can see the one I'm placing. Then I also cut out the lining. One piece of lining is enough. Then you place the lining on top. As you can see how I'm doing it, the lining should be on top. So now you pin make sure that you pin, and you should make sure that the neckline are on the same level. So you should pin. Then after, we are going to start sewing. So we are going to sew here, as you can see, here, here, and here. We are sewing the neckline only. Then for this other one, the one that is meant for the buttonholes, it's also almost the same. You get the right side facing you, as you can see. As I told you, the right side should be facing the right side when we are sewing. Right side facing the right side. Then you also get the lining and you put it on top. Again, you're going to sew here and here. Then we come to the other part here, the other straight part. Again, as I told you, right side facing each other and lining on top. As you can see how I'm arranging them, right side facing right side and lining on top. We are only going to sew the straight side only. Please, only this straight side. Don't sew the other slanting side that we notched. Only sew the straight side. As I had told you on the front cover, there is something that I had forgotten to show you. When you're sewing down here, you're going to leave 1 inch. So you sew from the neckline up to where the 1 inch has ended. Now I'm going to show you how to iron. You should be having your work, flat iron. You should be having water plus a clean piece of material. Now you're going to open up your work like this. As you can see, I'm opening up my work. Then you open up the edges, like the seams, yeah? You open up the seams because you have the other side and the other side. Open up the seams and you get the piece of cloth that we are going to use. Make sure that you've opened up the seams. Then you place the piece of cloth, as you can see the way I'm doing it. Then you get water. Then you pour the water on it, as you can see the one pouring water on it. Then you iron or press. That's how we are going to be sewing all the parts that we've sewn. So it should look like this after ironing or pressing. So you should iron all your parts. After ironing, you're going to make some notches on the corners, as you can see the one making the notch. Then this side, we are just going to cut the excess part. As you can see, I'm cutting out just the excess. Then after cutting out the excess, you make a simple notch on the corner. Then we are going to turn our work on the right side. We are going to do that on every part that had corners. Notching, then we turn on the right side. As you can see, I'm using the help of a pair of scissors to make that edge sharp. So this is how my work looks like after turning it on the front side. So now we are going to join the pieces. This is how it should look like after joining the pieces. We are going to join this part and this part, as you can see there. Now when you're joining, you're going to open up. As you can see the way I'm opening it up, you even come to the other part and you also open it up, as you can see the way I'm doing it. So we are going to sew here up, here from here up coming to this side. Please make sure that the seams, the middle seams meet when you're done joining. That's why you should pin, then you join. So you're sewing only here up because you want to join them, only sewing here up. Now I'm going to show you for the other side. So also for the other side, you're also going to open up both parts. As you can see the way I'm opening up, you also pin and again you sew here, as I've told you. Now let's sew. So now for me, I'm done sewing. Now we are going to iron or press all the joined seams. You're going to iron the way I showed you how to iron or press. I'm done with ironing the yoke. And after ironing, I think you can see that your work is looking more organized, as you can tell mine is. As you can see, I'm organizing my Kaaba. I'm getting the front part, the back part. So this is where the buttonholes are placed. Now we are going to top stitch. Let me hope you all know how to top stitch. We are top stitching along the edges of the neckline, as you can see how I'm showing you. As you can see the way I'm showing you, that's how you're going to make the top stitch. You're top stitching up to down there. So let's top stitch. So now I'm done making my top stitch. As you can see, this is how the Kaaba looks like after top stitch. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you. Please don't forget to try it out.